And back on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network, joined by senior Rylee Kane. And Rylee, 80-64 victory for you all tonight over South Dakota Mines. Pretty close game that first half, but you guys kind of just started to outstretch it and you held the lead. Talk about tonight's matchup and the win.
I think this week we were really talking about last year what happened with this same exact team, and we kind of got blown out, and so that was a little bit of motivation for us to do a little better. And yesterday we only had one practice, and so we tried to make it as intense as we could, and then just come out here and we tried to really make this one a complete game, because I think we've struggled with that this year so far, and so I think we finally did that, and it ended up being really good for us.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not sure if you know your stat line yet, but 19 points on 8 of 12 shooting. You had 6 assists, so pretty much all over the place as the point guard on this team. Talk about just, your experience in the first 3 years and this year and how you were able to, contribute to the team tonight.
I think tonight was just an all-around team effort, but for me personally, I think I have a lot of confidence after being able to play for 3 years and get some good minutes, and so I think that really helps, and I think that everyone else just has a lot of leadership, and so we just all work really well together.
Yeah, perfect 5-0 start for you all to start the season. Got an exhibition coming up in Bozeman and then GNAC play, so talk about these 5 wins and, just how ready you all are to keep the season going.
These first 5 wins are really important to us, and they mean a lot, but we're also just looking forward to each game one at a time, and so I think MSU is our next opponent that we're looking forward to, and that's what we're going to focus on, and then we'll just keep going from there.
And back on the Yellow Jacket Sports Network, Coach, we just spoke with Rylee Kane, and, following her comments, 80-64 victory for you all over South Dakota Mines. Talk about the win tonight and how focused your team was throughout that entire game.
I thought it was a pretty complete game for us, which was important because I felt we played last weekend we played really good first halves at home, or at least the second night we did. The first night I thought we were pretty solid through the first half, but the third quarter was kind of an Achilles heel of us last week at home. We didn't start, I think they had the first 3 or 5 points, but then I thought we buckled down and played well throughout most of the game. We got, our depth was important. They're a very good team. They have so many shooters that it just seems like if somebody's open and they get a little time to dial it in, they're going to make shots. So I thought overall we played hard, and thought I made a couple errors on some rotation things and that I need to clean up, but overall I was really pleased with our effort.
Awesome. Yeah, Coach, just two stats I wanted to talk to you about. Only 4 turnovers for you all tonight, which is a great number. It's very low. And then 7 different players hitting from beyond the arc, those 3-point shots. What makes your team so versatile in that aspect, that you have so many shooters plus able to take care of the ball? It just kind of makes it a complete game.
Well, the first part of taking care of the ball is you got to have a point guard that you trust, which we do. She's come a long ways in 4 years. She was trial by fire. I mean, she came the year after Bobby Knutson left, and she just had to take it over, and she struggled some, but she's just gotten better each year. I thought, her sophomore year, the second half of the season, she knew what it was to be a GNAC point guard, and last year she was solid for us, and then she's really improved as a scorer. That was something that she didn't look to do enough, and she will pass first, but if she's become much better if the shot's there to take it, and she's got a mid-range game now as well. But she's just a wonderful young lady. She works really hard. She doesn't get it too up or too low, too high or too low. She has that great mentality as a point guard, and that's important out there, because there's going to be ebbs and flows and emotions during the game, but I really trust her with the ball. So that's the first part, and then just proud of that I think we make the extra pass, and we didn't have too many footwork type errors, so that's good, because we need those possessions, and they had 64 points and they missed a few bunnies, and they could easily had 70. It was not a 15-point game. It felt really like a under 10-point game to me the whole way.
Yeah, and Coach, we'll get you out of here on this one. 5-0 start to the season, exhibition matchup coming this Saturday, and then to GNAC play already. So Talk about how important these 5 wins have been for you all, in preparation for the rest of the season.
Well, I think it's really important. We get up to a good start. In the last few years, we haven't done that. We dug a little bit of a hole, but at the same time, the conference season is what's really the most important. And we do have a important game at Bozeman. We want to play well. It'll be very tough. I mean, they've won the last 2 Big Sky championships, and I think they're going to compete for another one this year. It'll be on their court, but we won't count that in our record. But we sure want to play well there and see what happens. But then next week's we're at home, Simon Fraser and Western Washington, I think in reverse order of that. And that's really where we want to be peaking for that. We have a deep team. They care about one another off the courts, and I think, like you said, we have 7 different people who can make a 3. And to be honest, we really have even more of them that can do that. So I think that's hard to. I mean, that's good for our floor spacing on offense, and then defensively we have to be connected. And I think we have the ability to have a special season, but the league is so tough that you just can't take it for granted. Knock on wood, we're going to be healthy, but it's going to be a fun season. They're a great group of gals. They work hard in the classroom, on the court, and I can't thank them enough.